Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's analysis where I share with you the perspective that I have on the foreign exchange market and the kind of trades that I am looking at and the trade setups that I will be taking. You're looking at my website there, rickrayfx.com. So if you'd like more information about Forex trading and how to get started, just go to rickrayfx.com and you'll find plenty of information there. And if you like these videos, I'd appreciate if you just subscribe and be sure and click the notification bell so you'll get notified every time I make one of these, which with these analysis videos are every Sunday evening before the Forex market opens on Monday morning. So let's jump into it and get started. And as always, I start looking at what kind of fundamental financial news we will have coming up during the week. And this week it's going to be pretty amazing, actually. So you can see there's something almost every day except Wednesday. On Monday we have a little bit from the New Zealand central bank governor. He'll be speaking. And then on Tuesday there's something from the Australian government and the Canadian. But then on Thursday, late Wednesday, okay, depending on where you are in the world, and be sure and check forexfactory.com to get your local times. But this is 1 a.m. Thursday morning in Laos, where I am in Vientiane, Laos. 1 o'clock in the morning, we will have the Federal Reserve will release their interest rate, and it's expected to move up by 75 basis points, and everybody's expecting that. And in fact, they have made it no secret that they're going to keep increasing the interest rate, and we can expect the continuing strengthening of the US dollar because of that. And then further on in the week, the Swiss franc, the Swiss government, the Central Bank of Switzerland will also be releasing an interest rate increase of 25 basis points. And then later in the week, we even have the pound. This is also on Thursday, going to be an exciting Thursday. Okay, the pound will be releasing their interest rate, which is expected to go up 50 basis points. This was due out last week because of the death of Queen Elizabeth II. They postponed it for 1 week. So that will be coming this coming week on Thursday. And then later on in the week, we have information on the euro and then some more information on the pound. And finally on Saturday, it'll be late Friday night. If you're in Asia, 1 a.m. Saturday morning here in Laos, where I am, the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell will be speaking. And of course, the markets will be closed when he speaks, but when he speaks, he always shakes up the markets. And we can expect after he speaks on the weekend, there might be some incredible activity for the opening of the market next Monday. But anyway, check forexfactory.com and be sure and be aware of your local time that these news items will be released when this data comes out, because there will be some major impacts. All of these red boxes you see there, these are all high impact news items. It's going to be an exciting week. So let's jump over to the charts and review what I covered last Sunday. And starting with gold, as I always do, we've seen some big moves on gold, big moves down. Okay, and our support, which was support, has now become resistance. You remember the 1680 that I talked about for so long, it did break, and we've gone below that, so now the support has become resistance. So we have resistance at 1680, 1700, 1723, 1739, and then support at 1661, 1645, and 1622. Gold is definitely bearish. It has been bearish since the 22nd of August, and it has dropped 1,500 pips or $150. It's also bearish on the 4-hour chart as well as the daily chart. So a continuation down is likely to happen. If we were to see a bullish move, it would need to close above 1720 for the bulls, the buyers, to have advantage, and we start to see a change in direction. But I'll talk more about gold as I share my outlook for this upcoming week in just a moment or so. But again, looking at a review of last week on the Euro US, I did have a buy limit, and that did come down, and the buy limit did execute. Okay, and in fact, it's gone sideways the last few days, as you can see here, And the buy limit, which I gave on Sunday, which is the trade that I took, it's exactly at that price now, 1 week later. So I'm still holding that trade, okay, but I will share with you my outlook for this upcoming week. But I'm still holding that trade. It did not hit the stop loss. Still a good trade with the Euro US on that buy limit from last week. And then with the Australian US, unfortunately, we had a stop loss. It hit our stop loss. Okay, it dropped quite a bit, about 175 pips. We had bullish indication at the beginning of the week, but during last week on a Tuesday, some fantastic information came out on the U.S. dollar. The CPI data that was released was very, very good for the U.S. economy, and so we saw a downturn in the Australian dollar, and that's likely to continue. But it did hit our stop loss on that currency pair. And then the New Zealand dollar, the same thing. Those trade very similar, as you know, the Australian dollar and the New Zealand dollar. On the pound US, I did not have any kind of a trade set up that I took. I wasn't comfortable with the direction, so I indicated that there would be no trade on the pound US dollar. And then also on the odd JPY and the CAD JPY and the Swiss JPY, all three of those, I gave no trade on any of those, the odd, the CAD, the Swiss JPY. However, on the pound JPY, I did have an interesting trade, okay? You had to be nimble, you had to be quick, you had to be watching the charts. I had a sell limit, not a sell limit, a sell. I said to sell at market execution, and that was back on Monday when the market opened, and that was right here where you see the cursor. Okay, I said sell. Well, the pound JPY went up, and unfortunately hit the stop loss, okay, but then it did fall back down. So if you were watching on Wednesday, midweek, if you'd have taken that same trade at the same price, and then you could have made 250 pips. And that's just what happened with us during the week, that the market just completely turned around and changed direction on almost every single currency pair. So that was last week. What am I looking at for this week? Well, starting with gold, okay, as I said, it's dropped down below our major support at 1680, and now that 1680 has become resistance. And so it's dropped so much, it has just dropped so much. I'm not comfortable to take any more sell trades, although it can go lower. Sure, it can, and it might do that, but I would rather just wait for a reversal. You know, nothing goes down forever, nothing goes up forever, and gold has really dropped a lot. And I'll just wait and see if we get a reversal, and then if I get a bullish indication, and then I'll start to go long on gold, but I'm going to wait for that reversal. So for this week, no trade for me on gold. And then the Euro US, as I said already, I have the trade open. If you haven't taken a trade, I would say no trade, because it is, as you can see here, trending sideways. It's right now at the exact same price that I took it at the beginning of last week. So I'm just going to hold that trade, but it's trending sideways, so it could, no clear direction. It could go up or it could go down. The Australian dollar and the US dollar, well, it was looking bullish. It was looking bullish last week, but as you know, as I said, it hit the stop loss on the trade that I took last week, and it has turned bearish. Okay, it's turned bearish again, and so I'm still bearish on the long-term chart for the Australian US dollar, and I have a sell limit at 0.6730. And you say, well, Rick, the Australian dollar is already so low. Yes, 2 years ago it was at 0.55, so it definitely has room to move down. And all indications is that the US dollar will continue to strengthen, and so I am bearish on the major currency pairs. The Australian dollar is likely to continue down, and same with the New Zealand US dollar. I have a sell limit at 0.6000. And the pound US, I have a sell limit on that. Okay, my trade setup is take a sell at 1.1445, a pending order, which I will put into place when the market opens in the morning. And then I am taking some trades on these three Japanese currencies that I follow. The odd JPY, I have a sell limit at 96.50. And the CAD JPY, I have a sell limit at 108.40. The Swiss JPY, I have a sell limit at 148.72. And then the last Japanese currency pair that I trade, the GBP JPY, I have a sell limit at 163.85. The Japanese yen is very, very low, but it has started to recover. If you look on the Japanese yen index, it is starting to recover and should pull back, and strengthening of the Japanese yen will give us some short trades on the Japanese pairs that I've just showed you. Okay, that's it for me. Thank you for watching. And as I always say, trade small, don't be greedy, protect your capital, whatever you do. Look for a good trade setup and let the market come to you, and you will be successful. Thanks again for being here. Take care. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click that notification bell so you'll be notified every time I make one of these. Until next time, take care. Have a great week. Bye-bye.